All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for race number 2 of Group 2. So as we just saw at the end of qualifying right there, literally at the last second, Pierpaolo was able to pull out the pole. So that'll get him another bonus point. I believe that's a streak for him with poles now, but he's still continuing on. Second will be Mayer here on the standing start. Jay, Mike with a great qualifying lap in. He starts 4th. David Goodrich starts down in 5th place. Staggered here, John, Aiden, and Craig. So let's see what these guys have to offer as we wait for the revs.
With the standing start, it'll be a lot more condensed field into turn 1, and we'll probably see a lot of passes going in.
Agreed. Who's going to be the bravest on the brakes here as well? Remember, last time out, Pierpaolo struggled at the Andretti hairpin, so does it happen this time? There it is, lights out, away we go. It didn't look like David Goodrich got off the line very well, but everybody else got a clean start. Great start from Jay. He gets right up alongside of Mayer, but so far Pierpaolo able to cover it off as we enter the Andretti hairpin for the first time. Mayer trying to hold the outside here. And this time looks like everybody was pretty cautious and actually got through there pretty nicely. Mayer drops a bit of a wheel, so does John. Further back, he's completely off the track. As Mayer's lost another spot, there goes Mike through, up into 3rd place. And here comes David Goodrich to the inside. Jay threw it in there, tried to go for it, couldn't quite. So Pierpaolo out to the lead. Now can he hold this one? Mayer's not gotten a great start. Mike has gotten a tremendous start. He's already on the attack, going after Jay. Couldn't quite get him there. And Jay got a really good run there. I think Pierpaolo made a bit of a mistake. We've seen this story once before. Jay around the outside again at turn 6. No, he didn't quite make it work. He went off this time. And here comes Mayer. Oh, he dings together with Matt on the run up to the corkscrew. This is going to be close. Hold your breath. Here we go. Look out. Mayer sends it in there and gets into Jay. And he saves it. Great save from Jay right there. Wow, that could have been much more disastrous. Meanwhile, Craig's off and slams into the wall. And a round of applause from the crowd right there for that save from Jay. Great stuff from him, able to completely hold on to it. Mayer cut him some good slack after he got into him. David Goodrich all over the back of Mike as we enter the last corner. Pierpaolo now with some breathing room. Can he focus on pulling away? As John was wide at the entrance of turn 11 as we stream by the line for the first time. But how about that save from Jay, Christian?
That was like top level stuff.
Absolutely incredible. The car control and able to hold back. Wow, Mayer fires it back into the hairpin. Whoa, Matt goes out way wide. Or Mike, I should say. Meanwhile, Jay's off the track. And he's offline, entering through here now. What does Mayer do? He peeks to the inside. He's got the bumper there. Jay ran himself wide and off into the gravel again. So not the cleanest start for Jay as well, despite that contact in the corkscrew. He's been off 3 times now on his own accord. So now Mayer has a clear shot. Now can he run down Pierpaolo? David Goodrich on the charge. Up into 4th place now. Can he hunt down Jay?
I think Jay just got really flustered coming out of it with getting hit from behind. So
I think that made his adrenaline rise. And he's all over it. On the brakes. Into the corkscrew. Nobody tried anything this time. We plunge down the hill. Whoa, Jay wide again, and this time he's going to lose it. And again, he saves it. And Mike into the wall just behind him. Unbelievable, the saves that Jay's been making. That's 2 saves in 2 laps where that thing looked as sure as gone. And he's got another chance to get 3rd place back right there as you saw David Goodrich go off at the final corner. And here comes John into the fray. He's fought his way up into the top 5. He's kept it clean. Jay immediately... Oh, that was close. He almost ran into the back of David Goodrich. You saw it. David completely block off the inside, saying, no way, you're not coming through on me that easy. Oh, and he runs it wide, though, and off into the dirt, and that's easily going to allow Jay to slice back through to 3rd place. And now does John have a run here on David Goodrich on the exit turn 4. Now we head back into 5. Not close enough. Up front, Pierre Paolo's extended his gap up to 2.4 seconds. So Mayer's going to have to try and run him down here. He's got tons of time left, though. Now let's see, can David Goodrich get Jay back on the run up to the corkscrew? He's not close enough this time, but he has been able to somewhat outbrake him through there. And I would say, how hard would you rate turn 9 right there through there, Christian? Because it is a downhill curving corner.
I think, honestly, it's about car control and being able to keep your momentum through. If you overslow that corner and try to get back on the gas, it'll lift the front end up and you'll be squirreling all over the place. So.
Yeah. Tough corner, isn't it? Up front, meanwhile, Mayer took 6/10 out of the lead that last lap and sets the fastest lap of the race. On the brakes into the Andretti hairpin as we ride with David Goodrich. Bit of a different line, but I don't think he's going to get a good exit off there. Not nearly as good as Jay was, because you saw Jay wasn't quite wrapping the curbs right there. He was a bit above them, and whoa! Off goes David Goodrich. He nailed the sausage curb there. But he kept it straight. Once again, very nice save. So these guys proving that they have quite the car control. Now let's see if John can get himself up here a little bit more. Great start for him, up in the top 5. And still in a good spot for a podium here, as long as he can keep this pace up. And should anything else go wrong, or he could try and make a pass here. As David Goodrich is off again! And again he saves it. Here comes John, he's looking. Which way does he go? David Goodrich is surely going to try and defend this. John's got to fire around the outside here. And he thinks better of it. I don't think there was any way that that was going to happen. But he's still right on him. Further back, there's quite the distance between these two. Oh, Aiden's off in the corkscrew. Trying to get it going, same place that Chris was off. As he gets back going now. Here's Mike and Craig as they roll through turn 10 and now up to turn 11. They've dealt with their issues at the start of the race. And all they're going to have to do now is try and rebound. Here comes Craig, though. He's got to run. Got a nice exit at turn 11. We go on board with Mike. Nothing's changed up front. Same gap. 2.4 seconds. And Mike out wide. Here comes Craig to the inside. And Mike kind of let him have the position right there. He didn't try and cut right back down, so Craig gets up to 6th place. Hayden continues to roll on in 8th spot. That mistake proved costly. He lost 2 spots in that exchange. Mayer still with the fastest lap. But it looks like Pierre Paolo's kept it pretty consistent. Same with Jay. So then Craig made a bit of a mistake right there. Let's go up to Mayer now. Here he is. Trying to do anything he can to run down Pierre Paolo. But again, on this track, it just looks like it's hard to do with everybody virtually running the same lines. If anything, the only difference I've seen in the lines is when you go down and enter the Andretti hairpin. So,
looking at the top 3, they're all very consistent. So, looking at it, it'll be a very close race, but it'll be hard to say if anyone can catch him.
Especially now, Pierre Paolo putting down the pace again, 132.9. So, 132.4 from Jay. Wow, that's a major step up from what we saw last time. Jay's been quite the crowd pleaser in this race so far with 2 incredible saves. And now setting by far the best lap we've seen from Group 2 so far. Let's see if we can keep that up. Oh, Mayer, my goodness me. He almost lost that one. And again, another great save going down the straightaway right there. Man, these guys are riding the knife's edge every corner, it seems like.
This race could go in the Hall of Fame for the most part.
It's unbelievable the way that these guys are driving these things and somehow holding on to them. So, just goes to show you the skill that these guys have, the car control these guys have. Great stuff to see. Everybody will surely enjoy this on the watchbacks and throughout the next week. So, almost 10 minutes down. Pierre Paolo still holds his advantage. He's extended the lead a little bit. Jay, as we said, last lap around, really picked up the pace. Let's see if he can continue that. He's going to have to continue if he wants to make up what he lost. He was not consistent at all at the start. He was a bit sloppy and went off the track a few times. I think he's definitely found his rhythm now, but he's again in a hole that I'm not sure he can get himself out of. Pierre Paolo puts in a pretty good lap, 1:32.7. That's definitely his best from the night. As he gets now, yeah, Jay definitely dropped off that last lap from 1:32.4 to 1:33.5, so he lost over a second that last lap around as Mayer, I think, has actually closed the gap in a little bit this time. Let's go a bit further back. John still just over a second behind David Goodbridge. This battle's been just simmering throughout the last little bit, but John's been able to keep him in his sights. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be available for the 0X, though. He was off in turn 2 on the first lap. I think that was his own doing. He entered on the outside and drove it in a bit too hard. As he continues on trying to run down David Goodbridge. But still, he'll be happy about this result if he can keep it inside the top 5. These guys are a good 10 seconds back of the podium right now. As I think Jay's been able to close in a bit more. Let's see what the lap times are once they get to the line this time by. Wow. John throws it into the corkscrew a lot harder than what David Goodbridge has been able to throw it in there. That's where he's been making up quite a bit of time. Let's see if he can continue on with that. He's really closed the gap in now. That was well over a second last time out. And this time, now Mayer stepped it up. Pierre Paolo lost a little bit of time. He was almost a full second slower than Mayer was that last lap around. As John gets closer and closer to the back of David Goodbridge, he's got a run here. David immediately jumps to the inside. John's got to make the outside work at the Andretti hairpin. He's coming. He's got to run. Almost to the quarter panel. He's going to try it. Not quite. Unless he can complete the over-under here, but that's, again, hard to do at this corner. Couldn't quite make it happen. Let's go up to the front. Pierre Paolo now is starting to maybe feel a bit more pressure from Mayer. That gap is a lot closer than it was the last couple laps around. Nice smooth turns through there. I think he beat Mayer out of turn 6 that time. And that was the corner that Matthew made the mistake in. So, goes to show you that, and Matthew said he'd been struggling with that corner. It was the only one he couldn't quite get right. And it unfortunately came back to bite him in the last race.
That corner is a very high-speed left-hander, so you have to have your braking perfect every lap, and you have to have your turn-in point perfect every lap. And if you're off by an inch or two, you're gone for it.
And unfortunately, I think that's what happened last time, even though we didn't see it on the cameras. Anyone want to take bets on that? As now this battle's starting to brew. Here comes Mayer, closing in to the back of Pierre Paolo. He might get the fastest lap here as they cross the line. No, Pierre Paolo dropped way off again, 1:34.4. That is almost 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race. I'm wondering, did he push too hard early on, or is he just struggling to get back into a rhythm now? Back to this battle again. David Goodbridge just pulled a little bit more away from John, so not nearly as much pressure on him, as we now just run under 7 minutes to go, but the battle for the lead is heating up. Less than a second in it. And Jay sort of tapered off as well. He was able to put in that one super lap, and he hasn't been able to close since. He got it down to 4.5, and it has not been closer ever since that. I think this is where Mayer was able to beat Pierre Paolo earlier on, at least in the first race, but this time it looks like the leader's got a bit more on it, although Mayer did close in through there, down to a half a second as we hit the corkscrew. Bit of a different line there, actually. You see Mayer entering a bit higher.
It makes it more of a straight line going into the corkscrew.
You could see the gap slightly close in right there just by doing that. So even though it's not completely a different line, we're talking millimeters in terms of different lines here, but it still makes a difference. as we go on board with our race leader through the final corner. That gap's down to just underneath the half a second now. Now he's right on the bumper. A third of a second. 0.2 of a second. Does he dare try it? He's going to look to the outside here at the Andretti hairpin, but again, he's able to outbrake him. Looking, has a peek. Nope, couldn't get him there. But he is right on him now. He's just setting him up. He might have a chance once we get to turn 5 here. That's another good passing zone if you can get a nice run. I think he got a bit loose though. Pierpaolo just slightly beat him through there, so that pass does not come to be. Not this time at least, as we get down to the nitty-gritty of this. 5 minutes to go, running out of time. And what happens if these two start battling or tangle? Does that give a massive opening for Jay as well? This is where Mayer's been able to beat Pierpaolo a little bit better. But I don't think he's as close this time. Pierpaolo was able to match him or even better him through there. Down to the corkscrew. Don't know what Mayer's doing. I think he's just leaving the braking a little bit later, but he's just able to close in. Their lines were virtually identical there. Down to turn 11. Wow, Mayer again drove it in there hard, but did he hit the apex? Nope, he kind of missed the corner, and that's going to cost him more, and there goes your chance again at a pass down to the Andretti hairpin. As they rock past the line, and Jay's closing into the 132s.
With the pressure that the first two have on them right now, and Jay just having his own track right now, it's letting him close it in.
It is. But he's got to keep it consistent enough where he can't cruise around too much to where he's not closing it at all. He just needs to kind of push up in case these two do get into it. On board with our race leader now. Let's quickly go back to David Goodrich. He's still stretched out his gap over John just a tiny bit, but not by much. That gap still remains. Oh, just like I said, that John drops a bit of a wheel there on the exit of turn 2. Up front. Around turn 6, again it was pretty even. Mayer might have a shot at him this time. He's a little bit closer. Does he dare try this move? This would be a massive run to the inside. Whoa, he really closes the gap in there right there. But just couldn't quite get a good enough exit off. And Pierpaolo stabilizes it once again.
One thing I'm noticing, Mayer consistently brakes later than Pierpaolo, but Pierre is being able to keep it centered and getting an amazing exit, which is leveling the two out.
Seems to be a pretty consistent run right here. Again, half a second. Mayer using a bit more track. I'm not sure that might be hurting him doing that, or if he just keeps driving it in so hard into turn 11, he's just not hitting the apex right. Wow, Jay is coming. He has put that gap down now to just almost under 4 seconds. He beat them by a second that last time around. And we haven't really seen any mistakes from Pierpaolo going through turn 2 either. Remember, he couldn't quite get that corner right last time out. This time out, oh, he nails the sausage curb right there, though. That might cost him some time. He sort of pulled the gap back out there. He doesn't have as much pressure on him now than he did before, but he is still, Mayer's still lurking right there. And he slip up, and it's on. Out of turn 5 and up to turn 6. Gap grows a little bit now to 0.6 of a second. Oh, Mayer's off the track. In turn 6, he's rallying it through there. That didn't really hurt him that much. He did lose a couple of tenths, but that could have been a worse place to go off of. But that might do it. He's only got one. We're coming up to 1 lap to go now, so that's a mistake that you really can't make in the last part of this race. And that might just put this one to bed. He's really going to have to push this last lap if he wants to get back to the bumper. He got through there pretty nicely. Onto the front straight. 1 lap to go. What can what can Mayer do now to get to him? Christian, do you think he still got a shot, or did he waste it?
that little mess up there, I think, might have cost him the race.
He's back now. It's up to 1 second. And the also thing here is Pierpaolo doesn't nearly have as much pressure on his shoulders. So now he can kind of just breathe this one through.
And I'm not sure, but Pierpaolo has had a very consistent race, and he might be looking at his 0x possibly.
Yes, that's true as well. Oh, Mayer, another little mistake right there. That might do it as well. Again, it didn't cost him really anything, but that dirt's still going to be on the tires once you get through these corners. And that, whether you feel it or not, is probably still going to cost you. As that gap extends now. Jay is coming in the background, but he's too little too late. Those mistakes, again, unfortunately, have been his undoing. A little bit further back, John is right on, or he was right on David Goodrich. And he still is, but that gap has sort of pulled its way out. Down to the corkscrew. And downhill, Pierpaolo didn't really have much to worry about that time. He still got a second on Mayer. Now does Mayer try and maybe send it in here? I don't think he's close enough. Even if he does send it in, I don't think he's going to make it work. Down to turn 11 for the final time. And now to turn 11. He dealt with enormous pressure, but in the end, he comes away with the W. 3 out of 4 for Pierpaolo. He does it at Laguna Seca. Mayer second. Jay third. And an absolute amazing race. And look at the lap time from Jay. 1:32.2 to top that one off. That is Group 1 levels of speed right there. Incredible. Group 2, Pierpaolo. Well, that was definitely something. Mayer breathing down your neck the whole time and stuff was a lot of pressure, but you managed to pull it off.
Yes, I sweat quite a bit. And yeah, I tried to keep it cool, clean, but it was very, very hard, especially at the last lap when I did a couple of mistakes here and there, and it was getting closer and closer, but managed to keep it cool.
Well, good job, my friend. That definitely contributes to you. Flag-to-flag victory as well, man. So.